Ladies and gentlemen, you like secrets, I like secrets, so today we're going to be talking about some wrestling secrets. So these are 5 wrestling secrets, now revealed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Brandon Hodge here, and welcome back to Top 5 Fridays, episode number 2, I believe. So, in this episode, we're going to be talking about some wrestling secrets, so it's nothing like too crazy, it's kind of generalized stuff. It's not necessarily WWE, it just kind of applies to all of pro wrestling. Well, so I guess some of this can be WWE, because WWE, like some companies don't do this kind of thing, so I guess it is kind of WWE, but most companies do around the same thing. So, anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna jump in. So these are the top 5 wrestling secrets now revealed. Number 5. So number 5, this one on this list probably isn't that big of a secret to most people watching this video because I talk about it all the time. But to someone who's just now watching wrestling, or maybe don't like kind of go in the behind the scenes kind of thing, maybe don't know. But the wrestling promos, when they talk on the microphone, generally every word is scripted. I mean, maybe they can put it in their own words, but for the most part, what they're saying is not them talking, it's what's on the piece of paper they were handed backstage. So it's completely scripted promos, which I hate. I personally loved when they did unscripted promos. Like, if we think of the greatest, like, if we think of the greatest, like, promos of all time, like, 99% of them were completely unscripted. So just, like, if you can just think back, like, think of something. King of the Ring Austin, unscripted. It just came to, like right into his mind. Improv. Just stuff like that. Like, I hate the scripted promos, but enough about that little rant. That's just something maybe the newcomer to wrestling might not know, or the newcomer to WWE. Like, other promotions, AEW, are now doing unscripted promos, which are turning out way better. But as for WWE, this is a secret, which isn't really a secret, but kind of a secret. I don't know. Number 4, the crowd noise. So basically, if you don't know this, WWE specifically, and this is another WWE exclusive one, basically they mess with the crowd levels, and sometimes they even like dub in stuff. So like, if the crowd's booing, they'll like edit it and make it sound like they're cheering. But for the most part, when I'm talking about like manipulating with the crowd, like if they're booing someone, they can actually lower the volume on the microphones that pick up the crowd. And if they're cheering really loud and they want like the person to be cheered, then they'll raise the volumes up so the cheers are like overwhelming. An example of this is obviously Roman Reigns, because they want everyone to like him, and a lot of people were booing him, and obviously they lowered the volume. But another thing I can think about is if there's a heel in WWE, let's say Daniel Bryan, for example. Daniel Bryan is a heel, therefore he's supposed to be hated, he's supposed to be booed, but it's Daniel Bryan, so he gets cheered. So what they do, they'll actually lower the crowd volume, so you can't really hear the crowd cheering for him, even though they are in real life. So that's number 4, manipulating the crowd noise. Number 3, wrestling secret you might not know, spot calling. So basically, if you listen very closely, sometimes the microphones on the camera will pick it up, but definitely if you go to a live show and you sit very close, you can hear it. Basically, they call spots, they call the next move they do, like one wrestler will tell the other wrestler what move they're doing next. Normally, there's like a leader who kind of like leads and just calls the spots. Normally, it's not, it just kind of depends on it, I guess. I mean, you can go both ways, but normally the more experienced wrestler will be calling the spots to the younger talent. But yeah, when you're at live shows, you can hear this a lot, but basically, you can hear them like, just like, I mean, they try to be quiet, they try to do it in each other's ears, but sometimes they say it a little too loud, you can hear them. But if you like listen closely, you can kind of hear like suplex, another suplex, or whatever kind of move they're trying to set up. But yeah, spot calling, and that's not just for WWE. That's just how the sport of professional wrestling is. Number 2, this one's pretty well known as well. But see, here's the thing, like, it's not something you would know unless you were like looking up like wrestling secrets or whatever. Or if you're curious. Anyway, number 2 is the blood. So WWE, they don't really do blood that much anymore. But they used to a lot, and sometimes they still will. And obviously other wrestling promotions do blood. And sometimes it's legit. But let me say this. Most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, it's real blood. Like, it's not like they got like vampire capsules and like bite them or whatever. Or they like squirt some like ketchup on their forehead or so. That's not. It's actually real blood. So sometimes they actually get hurt and they actually get like busted open and they have to go like backstage and get stitches after the match because they actually got hurt and that's legitimate blood and it wasn't planned. But when they do plan the blood, they do something called blading. Okay, so if you don't know what blading is, when I first found this out, I was like 12 years old and I was like, oh, that's so messed up, but it's just how it is. So basically blading is exactly how it sounds. They will literally take a sliver of a razor blade, which by the way, is normally in the referee's pocket and the ref will pass it around. If they're gonna do blading, like I said, WWE, they don't really do this anymore, but generally, like the referee will have the little sliver of a razor blade, which is normally covered in tape or something, and he'll like secretly pass it off to a wrestler, and then the wrestler would be like selling, you know, like you know, in the corner, like oh god, and he's down like this, and then he'll take the razor blade and actually like slice his. Well, normally it's in the eyebrow because it doesn't scar, but some like of the older wrestlers, you can see like the scars in their forehead. That's what that's from. But normally they do it in the eyebrow. I'm sorry to give you guys this lesson. Don't do that, but that's like traditionally how blood is done in professional wrestling. It's something called blading, and basically they cut themselves to make themselves bleed for other people's entertainment. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and now we are at number 1, but before I get into that, I gotta promote some stuff. So if you guys want to save some money on some tickets, you can use my code on SeatGeek. The code is just my last name, code Hodge. There's a link down below. Also my merchandise link, if you want a cool shirt like this, King of Vlog style, Brandon Hodge, and I have I don't have a million other shirts. I have a few more shirts if you guys want to check out the merchandise store and help support the channel in that way. If you can't do either one of those things, I understand, and I still love you the same. Anyway, so here we go. Number 1 wrestling secret that most people might not know. Well, I don't want to use the phrase I've written down here. The ref does more than you think. It's something. What I have written down here is the ref's in on it. I mean, obviously we know that, but the ref does like a lot more than you guys actually think. Like he is wearing, I don't know if you guys noticed, because they're usually like use the clearer ones, but they usually have an earpiece in, where they can hear like Vince backstage on the microphone telling the ref stuff. But basically, the ref obviously does what we see on TV, counts the 1, 2, 3, just, you know, he's the referee for the match. But also, in that earpiece, Vince will tell them things like, we're going to commercial, which the ref will pass on to the wrestlers and tell the wrestlers we are going on to commercial, which means, slow down, don't do nothing crazy, save it until we come back from commercial break, is basically what they do. Another thing is Vince will tell the referee when to tell the wrestlers to kind of wrap up the match and end the match, or be like a minute left, 2 minutes left, whatever it be. Or if Vince wants them to do something specifically, I guess the ref can pass that on. And obviously, like I said earlier in the video, the ref sometimes has the blade to kind of start the blading thing if they're going to do that in the match. But there is a lot of things the referee does that we don't know, and it's just very subtle things. There's a lot of secrets with the whole professional wrestling thing. Like I could literally do like a top 100 wrestling secrets revealed, but I just did a top 5 for this because this is top 5 Fridays. But ladies and gentlemen, that's basically the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a like, friend the channel, make sure to subscribe, it is absolutely free. If you guys have any suggestions for Top 5 Fridays, I mean, they're welcome. I mean, I already have a bunch of ideas for Top 5 Fridays, but if there's anything you guys would like to see, let me know down below. And yeah, I guess that's about going to be it, guys. So thanks for watching. If you want to help us support the channel, there's some links down below, and that's basically all I'm going to promote. There's a lot of videos on the channel if you want to go watch some Brandon Hodge videos, because they're good or bad or whatever they are. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. I'm Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.